Good morning, St. Marians. Once again, we are back with the ninth class Geography, chapter number 3, Rotation and Revolution. And in this class, we'll discuss the short answers of exercise and distinguish between the following. And structured questions will be given in the next video because that video may be too long if I'll go through the distinguished questions today. And one more thing I want to tell, today I have uploaded that project work and holidays homework also, so you have to complete. And one more thing, that try to find out that structured questions answers yourself, and if you are confirm about your answers, then you can write the answers in your copy. I'll match it whenever the school will reopen and we can go through that correct answers. If you are having any correction, then you can do that time. Otherwise, if you are correct, then no need to correct. So you can try yourself structured questions. So I hope you will understand the concept. So let us start that today's class. So we are going to discuss first question. What is meant by inclination of earth axis? At what angle is the earth axis inclined? So that earth is always tilted in same direction as it moves around the sun. So the angle at which the earth is tilted is known as inclination of its axis. And that one more thing is there, second part of the question is that what angle the earth is inclined. So that earth is inclined on the angle of here 23.5 degree from the pole. 23.5 degree from the pole. So I hope so this answer is clear to you. Now we are moving toward the next question, question number 2. So let us have question number 2, that name the chief motions of the earth. Already you know well, rotation and revolution are the two motions of the earth. No need to mention it. That's why I have not make it slide. You can write yourself. So question number 2 answer is rotation and revolution are the two motions of the earth. Now I am moving question number 3. Describe the two characteristics of rotation. So two characteristics I have given. To complete the rotation of the earth from west to east in 24 hours, it is 23 hours and 56 minutes 4 seconds. So here we have mentioned 24 hours in round figure, and along its tilted axis, which is always in the same direction towards the pole star. So these two characteristics are clear. Now we are moving question number 4. Mention two effects of rotation of the earth. So it is given here, day and night are caused due to rotation of the earth. And second one, creation of centrifugal force resulting that bulge in that equatorial part and flattened top at the poles. So these two effects are there. Now question number 5. Mention the two possible consequences if the axis of the earth was vertical instead of inclined. So first one is there, then all the places on the earth length of the day and night may be equal, 12 hours all over the world. And second one, the world would have been no seasons. So this is that answer number 5. I hope you understood this one. Now question number 6. State one reason why we do not feel the motion of the earth. So the force of gravity keeps everything attached to the earth. It keeps all objects at rest with reference to the motions of the earth, using the principles of Newton's first law of motion. So this is the answer of this question number 6. Now question number 7 we are moving. Define revolution. So revolution is the revolving of the earth on the on its orbit around the sun in 365 days and 6 hours nearly. So question number 7 clear. Question number 8 I am going through here. State chief characteristics of revolution of the earth. So here it is mentioned two characteristics. First one, that average speed is 29.8 km per second, and second one, that earth's orbit is path along which the earth travels. The distance of the earth from the sun changes during the course of rotation and varying from maximum 152 million kilometer to a minimum of 147 million kilometer. So I hope this answer will be clear to you. Now I am moving for question number 9. So mention the two effects of revolution. Two effects of revolutions are seasonal changes throughout the year and the creation of particular heat zones on the temperature zones. So I hope it is clear. Question number 9, two effects of revolution. Now we are moving question number 10. So question number 10 is on which 2 days the days and nights are equal all over the world. So these 2 days are 21 March and 23 September. And second part of this one is and why. So why answer is here. Because that sun crosses that plane of the earth's equator and making the day and night making the night and day of equal length. So that which I have explained, you can find it on page number 28 in the first point of equinox. You can write from there also, otherwise I have explained why. So now second part, what name do we give to these days? So we are giving the name spring or vernal equinox or autumnal equinox. These two are there. So 21 March spring or vernal equinox and 23 September autumnal equinox. So these are the answer on page number 28. This equinox column number 3, you can find out the answer. If you want to write first column and third column, you will write the answer that you are getting that proper answer from there. So I hope you will not pass the comment. Listen the video carefully and don't write this thing in the comment section that question number 10 is not available. So question number 11 I am going to discuss with you, which is the longest and which is the shortest day in the northern hemisphere and why. So 21 June is the longest day and 22 December is the shortest day in the northern hemisphere because of due to earth is close to the sun and away from the sun. So once again I am telling you that 21 June is the longest day and 22 December is that shortest day in the northern hemisphere because that earth is close to the sun and in second case away from the sun. So I hope this question is clear to you. Question number 11, 21 June is the longest day and 22 December is the shortest day because of that sun is close to the earth and sun is away from the earth in northern hemisphere. So now we are going to discuss about question number 12. So on which dates does the sun shine vertically overhead on equator? So on equator it is on 23rd March and 21 March and 23 September. And second one, on Tropic of Cancer it is 21 June, Tropic of Cancer. And third one is Tropic of Capricorn, that is December 22. So that you can check from the table which is given on page number 29 which date 90-degree angle is there of sun from these. Tropic of Cancer is 23 and half degree north, that is found on 21 June, and on Tropic of Cancer that is 23 and half degree south, that held on 22 December. So that you can find out yourself. Now this question is over. All three parts I have cleared. First one is 21 March and 23 September. Second one, Tropic of Cancer 21 June. Tropic of Capricorn is 22 December. So that you can check from the table which is given in your book on page number 29 also, when sun is having the 90-degree angle or vertical. So now I hope so this question is clear to you. Now I am moving towards question number 13. Why is noon hotter than morning? So it is mentioned in a slide, you can check. Because the noon at noon earth is closer to the sun and is inclined more towards it. So I hope this answer is clear. It is mentioned already in your slide. You can copy it from there. Question number 13 it is. I want to mention here it is question number 13. Question number 11 and 10, 11, 12. 10, 11 and 12 I have explained myself, and you have to write that answer. You can listen the video and you can write the answer. So now I am moving towards next slide. Question number 14. Why are days and nights equal at all places on the earth on 23 September? So on 23 September, the sun is vertically overhead at the equator and the days and nights are equal. And second part, what are the seasons in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere on that date? So in northern hemisphere, spring season and it is autumn in northern hemisphere and spring in southern hemisphere. So you can find out this answer and you can write in your copy. Already I explained you. I think it is clear to you both parts. Now I am moving towards question number 15. So question number 15. What is meant by the summer solstice? And when do we have summer solstice? In the northern hemisphere. So on 21 June, earth is in the position where the north pole is tilted toward the sun. This is known as summer solstice. And second part, when do we have summer solstice? So it is clear to you, I think so. 21 June is that summer solstice in northern hemisphere. So I hope so it is clear. I am repeating again. What is meant by summer solstice? So the earth is in the position where the north pole is tilted towards the sun. On this day, sun is overhead at the Tropic of Cancer. This is known as summer solstice. On 21 June, northern hemisphere face the summer solstice. So I hope so this answer is clear to you. Now I am moving towards answer number 16. What is equinox? So equinox refers to the time when sun crosses the plane of the earth's equator, making day and night equal length. So I hope it is clear. Now question number 17. So position on 23rd March. So let us go through the question. What is there? What will the duration of day and daylight on the March 21st on 23.5 degree north and 66.5 degree south latitudes? So we can find out on 23rd March duration of daylight 21st March. It will be there. So on March 21st, sun rays fall vertically over the equator. On this day, the places of the earth equal days and night. So on 21st March, all over that world, days and nights are equal. So duration of days and nights you can find from the book on page number 29. 21st March, 12 hours are there on both the hemispheres, so that 12 hours day is there. And second part, give reason. Reason already it is clear. It is the time of equinox, and on this day already I have defined. Again I am telling that this refers that sun crosses the plane of the earth equator and making the days and nights are equal length. So I hope so it is clear. On 21st March in 23.5 degree north and 66.5 degree south, both latitudes will have 12 hours day and 12 hours night, and the reason is clear. That is that sun crosses the plane of the earth's equator, making the nights and days equal length. So I hope so it is clear. Now I am moving towards the next slide. What is the relationship between the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere? Seasons. So seasons occur. You will remove how from here. Seasons occur, they are reversed in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. When it is summer in the northern hemisphere, then it is winter in the southern hemisphere. So I hope so this is the answer, and you find out the answer clearly. I am repeating one more time. The seasons occur, you will remove how they. The seasons occur are reversed in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. When it is summer in the northern hemisphere, it is winter in the southern hemisphere. So I hope so it is clear. So now we are moving towards question number 19 sorry. So don't confuse with the question number. I am making it is question number 19, not question number 14. By mistake it is mentioned here. So you can find out how is the phenomena of midnight sun come about. So beyond the Arctic Circle, the regions experience 24 hours daylight in the summer season due to North Pole facing continuously towards the pole, and it is called midnight sun. Norway is called the land of midnight sun. So I hope so this question is clear, this answer is clear to you. So now we can move for next answer. Answer number 20. Mention one effect of seasons in low and high latitudes. So low latitudes are low latitude areas get ample temperature and rainfall, while high latitude areas are cold and receive less rainfall. So I hope this answer is clear to you. Don't write this one, May 31, 2018. So this answer is clear from here till here. So I hope this is clear to you. Now I am going to discuss the next question, that is question number 21. I have not made the slide for that one. So for that question number 21, you can make the diagram on page number, let me go through, page number 27, figure number 3.4. Here I will mention figure number 3.4. You have to make the diagram for that one. So I hope you will understand this one. This is for question number 21, page number 27, figure number 3.4. So now I am moving for that one. Distinguish between rotation and revolution. Question number 1. I hope you will find out the answer from here. Now next slide. Vertical and slanting rays, it is also mentioned here, 2 points you can mention from here. Now it is clear, I think so. Now next one, equinox and solstice. So it is also mentioned in a book, but if you want to write in short, then you can write from here, but you have to write all these distinguish between in the columns, otherwise your 1 mark will deducted out of 3. So I hope you understood well. All the distinguish between you have to write in columns, column A, column B, like that you have to mention. So these are that distinguish between, and here your work completes. Structured questions, as I told in starting, you will try to write yourself. If you are confirm about the answer, you can write in a fair notebook. Otherwise you can write in the rough notebook. I will check that answers when the school will reopen, and then I will give the answers to you. So I hope you have understood all the answers, and no doubt is there in any question. I have made it clear. So before making the comment in comment section, first you listen about that question which I have explained in the video. Then you can write me in comment section. I hope so that all the questions are clear, all the concepts are clear about the answers. If even you are having a doubt, then you can write me in comment section. You are most welcome. So don't forget, I am going to give you that whole day's homework in the another video which I am going to issue today itself, and I will go through that project work, and 2 projects you have to make. All the details are there in that whole day's homework and project work, another video that you go through and complete your work within the month of June, because whenever the school will reopen your projects will be collected as well as your homework will be checked. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much.